This is the newest in the mortgage servicing rules. This is called Successors and Interest. Now, the paragraph at the top of page 75 is rather important because what it talks about is not necessarily having to seek these individuals out. If they've presented themselves, you have to deal with them. You'll have to follow the rules that we're going to go through here. But you don't have to seek them out. But in between seeking that, not having to seek them out and presenting themselves, there's also this, if it falls at your doorstep, you have to deal with it. So if somebody presents themselves, hey, I'm a successor in interest, obviously, right? But if you gather information through due diligence, maybe not even, you're not trying to determine successor in interest, but you acquire information about a successor or a potential successor, then that is information that is subject to this requirement. You don't have to seek it out, but if it cross paths with you, you have to deal with it. That's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes crossing paths doesn't mean a deliberate, hey, here I am. It could just be information that, oh, I didn't realize that that person was tied to that property now. That would be information that you acquire. The whole idea here is that when a successor presents themselves directly or indirectly, that you don't make things difficult for them. A lot of times, the presence of a successor in interest, it comes to fruition because of something difficult in life. Look at page number 75. A potential successor in interest, letter A. It's anyone who receives an ownership interest in a property as a result of a specific event. Most of these events are not happy ones. Death of a relative, something's going on with a spouse or children, a transfer there, divorce, legal separation. Most of that's pretty ugly stuff. Don't make a hard situation worse. And this rule here really, it came from complaints that came in from enough different angles and went to the right people that now we have a rule that says, don't make it harder than it needs to be when this kind of event presents itself. So there's a potential successor in interest. Why is that important? Well, you have to get them information so that they can move to a confirmed successor in interest. What's that mean? It means you've verified them by way of a death certificate, will, or court order that they are a confirmed successor in interest. So once they're a confirmed successor in interest, short story works like this, that they are to be treated as if they're a borrower on the loan as it relates to the property that's securing it. So treat them just like you would the borrower. There, it means that you're going to give them notifications and disclosures and agreements and things like that along the way. I wrote at the bottom of page 75, there are no time limits on this. It's whenever the person presents themselves or persons. So there's no time frame for them to say, oh, I'm a successor. It's whenever they present themselves, so no time limits. Prohibitions, I kind of already alluded to this, page 76 at the top, letter C. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. When somebody presents themselves in moving from potential to a confirmed successor, don't make it overburdensome for them. What's that mean? Don't ask for unnecessary legal documents. Don't ask for the same thing multiple times. Don't refuse to communicate. That's probably the biggest one. Don't put up a door and say, oh, you're not a borrower, we're not communicating with you. They might be a successor in interest that you're required to communicate with. And that's what this chapter here is all about. Now, one of the things that's baked into the rule is a game that I don't recommend that you play, but you could.